Hello, this is Eloisa with Math Leopard. Today I'm going to cover the most important planetary magic square, that of the Sun. So far we've covered Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars, corresponding to Saturday, Thursday, and Tuesday, respectively. Notice how each planet has a retrograde motion of 2 days throughout the week, which of course means moving 2 days more back. From Tuesday, or Mars lands us on Sunday, the day of the Sun. The astrological symbol for the Sun is a circumpunct, that is, a circle whose center is annotated. I view this as the monad represented by the point of zero dimension, surrounded by the infinite as represented by the circle, in that there are infinitely many points on its circumference. The Sun is ruling planet to Leo, and the lion is oftentimes a heraldic symbol for the Sun. Note how we began with Saturn and the winter signs, but have jumped to Leo and summer with the Sun, who rules a single sign as opposed to two, like his predecessors. Moving up one dimension from Mars, the Sun is a 6x6 magic square. When I described the method of construction for an even-numbered magic square in my video on Jupiter, I mentioned there were two distinct types, those divisible by 4 and those not divisible by 4. Clearly, 6 is not divisible by 4, so we embark on a new method of construction. Let's begin by highlighting the diagonal entries, and note that this creates a chi, or X. In reading direction for Hebrew, that is, right to left and top to bottom, let's fill in the counting numbers 1 through 36. First row is 1 through 6. Second row, 7 through 12. Third row, 13 through 18. Fourth row, 19 through 24. Fifth row, 25 through 30. And the sixth row is 31 through 36. All those numbers not along the chi are then removed. Now beginning at the bottom and proceeding in a sinuous manner, sweeping back and forth until we get to the top, let's once again count 1 through 36. Bottom row 1 through 6. Now let's turn around and count 7 through 12. Flipping backwards again, let's count 13 through 18. Now turning to the right and counting 19 through 24. Swerving back to the left, we count 25 through 30. And finally, in reading direction on the top row, we count 31 through 36. Let's clear the second entries in any box that was previously filled. To create a magic square that is seen in grimoires and corresponds to the Hebrew names and sigils, we must take a leap of faith and use a skewed symmetry, which I began with the sinuous enumeration above. Let's focus on the central portion of the square. We take the two numbers above the cross intersection, 28 and 27, seen here in pink, and swap their positions. Now let's do the same with the two below, namely 9 and 10. Now let's venture outwards a bit from the intersection of chi, with the numbers 20, 14, and 17, seen here in purple. We're going to connect these with a circuit and move each integer one position forward in the counterclockwise direction. Moving to the exterior of the square, let's next consider the trio of numbers 3, 4, and 33. Once again, we'll position these integers one place forward in a counterclockwise circuit. Finally, we consider the numbers 7, 30, and 25. Unlike their predecessors, however, these three are connected with a clockwise circuit, and hence each value is moved one position forward in that manner. What results is a classic solar magic square whose rows, columns, and diagonal entries all sum to 111. Here's where things get truly gauche, and every long-suffering student of mathematics is vindicated. For the number associated with the Sun, being the sum of the row sums, is 666. Holy frioli. So we can either find solace in the fact that math is the root of all evil, or a sense of awakening to a more nuanced understanding of the true nature of the occult, and I choose the latter. So recall that to find the sigil associated with each planet, it was informed by the enumeration pattern of straight line segments counting from the first to the last entry in the square. If we do this for the Sun, what results is a semi-symmetric image, seen here. But once we place the sigil of the Sun on top, it's clear to see its origins therefrom. Now let's fill in the Hebrew numerals in each box. 1 through 9, Aleph through Tet, 10 through 18, Yod through Yod Chet, 19 through 27, Yod Chet through Kaf Zayin, then 28 through 36, Kaf Chet through Lamed Vav. Remember that using the value of each letter in Hebrew, we can trace the character of the name. Let's clear the square and do a couple of examples now. Let's consider the spirit of the sun, Sarat. Tracing backwards from the Tau, the last letter, his value is 400, so I'll use 4 as a placeholder. Now let's add to that the value of Resh, which is 200, so we'll use 2 in its place. The next letter is Vav, with a value of 6. And finally, or initially in Hebrew, the letter Samech, with a value of 60, so using 6 once again as a placeholder. This sums to the value of the sun's magic square, namely 666. And this is a sigil associated with Sarah. So for my next example, let's consider Nachiel. In English reading direction, we begin with Lamed, but note how we use 3 in its place, even though 30 is displayed on the grid. Next to Aleph with a value of 1, then add that to Yod at 10, Kaf with a value of 20, and finally Nun with a value of 50. So we use 5 as its placeholder. What this yields is a sum of 111, which is the sum of any row, column, or diagonal, and hence a property of the solar magic square. The sigil for the intelligence of the sun, Nachiel, is seen here in red. This is a halfway point in my Planetary Magic Square series. Next I'll be posting Venus's Magic Square, so please subscribe to be informed once it's posted. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.